All right, everybody. What's happening today? Hope you're doing all right. Who's chilling in the chat at the top of the show? Looks like Alessandro Braz is first. Nice to know you just can't wait. Hello, Farning. Acid Bat, nice to have you back again. Josh Holiday. Boom. Hope you're all good too. Acid Bat's got a snow day. Here it's just a little bit cool and damp. No snow. Welcome Metaphase, or the Metaphase. Well. UK Strings. Boys. Sean Cunningham. Stereo Decor. Pear Lemming. Vitus. Hey. Aaron Hedges, welcome. Dark Wolf. Aloha. Just saying everybody's names. Marco Freudenberg. Heidi Ho. And Drosser, did I get that right? Hey, what's up? Hey, Max. Max Wild, one of our fearless leaders here. We're all fearless here at 343 Labs. We're not afraid to do anything. We're ready to jump right in and just do it. Hope all is good. DJ Okenzie, hello. I'm sitting here grooving in my chair, realizing I forgot to change the intro music. It's more of a techno day today, so don't be distracted by the electro intro. You know how usually that's your clue where we're going to go that day is what the intro music is, but just slipped my mind today. All right. Thanks, Marco. Glad you like it. This is a good, strong start, though, right? Grabs your attention with those big stabs. Sean Cunningham's asking what's on the cards for today. Yeah. Let's see. Let's dive right in. Welcome, everybody. It's Selway's Techno Saturdays today here. I still call it 343 TV, even though, we don't really do 343 TV anymore. If you've been around long enough, during the lockdown, we were doing streams every day. All of our instructors and some of our friends, we were doing streams every day. And it was like, we're trying to fill up the schedule. I'm the last man standing. Well, that's not true. Now we've got Dane doing Chop Shop monthly. Okay, so he's in here too. But yeah, I've got my Saturday show that I've been doing for, it's been years now. It's been like 4 or 5 years, right? Almost. It feels like it. And still plugging away, still doing it, still enjoying hanging out with you guys for at least an hour. Almost every Saturday, although we do take the odd break every now and then. And anyway, yeah, 343 TV it's there. It's dear to me. It's still, we should try to, Max, let's do it again. Let's build it up again. Let's get some more people streaming or doing more stuff. We got to make more videos, right? Whether it's streaming or tutorials or whatever, right? We got to up our game again, right? Let's get things going. That's actually something Max and I are talking about right now. It's like, we got to get back on track with our production, with our video production. So, but in the meantime, here I am every Saturday almost doing my thing, techno and electro, and making music and talking to you guys. And, here at 343 Labs, in addition to doing this, I'm an instructor and head of academics, and we have our 1-year program, and we have all sorts of things going on. We got a nice new group of people who started in January for our latest cohort, and we're developing the courses. We're updating the curriculum. We're adding new courses. We've got a DJ course that we're kind of doing a trial run right now. We're doing our first run to like kind of see how it goes and tweak it and improve it. And we got a nice group of people that are interested in being kind of in there from the beginning, and it's fun. I think it's fun. We're growing. 343 is growing, like steadily, and glad to be a part of it. And I'm not just saying this because Max is watching. It's how I really feel. So yeah, if you want to know more about the details, if you've ever thought about taking a course with us, whether you're out there in the world somewhere and you do it online, or you want to hang out with us in Berlin, or you want to come to New York, and one-off course, 1-year program, there's all sorts of options. You've got links below to click on that will lead you to all the info you should need to know more about what we do here. And always a gentle reminder to join our Discord as well. Link below. That's, especially for the stream, for me, whenever I do like sample, remix, feedback session, challenge, whatever it is, you're going to hear about it first in the Selway feedback channel on the 343 Labs Discord. So I believe that click that's in the subject in the description will lead you right to the Selway feedback channel if I did it right. Cool. The Metaphase says you're missing Abe's streams. Yeah, I would love it if Abe could stream again. Things change, schedules change, life changes. I keep asking him to like make some free time on a Saturday to like hang out with me at least remotely. You know, so we could like work on something together or even just talk. But yeah, you know, we're both family men. We've got our weekends. I mean, I'm happy to have this time carved out for myself on Saturday afternoon, but I believe Saturdays for Abe are busy with kids' activities and family stuff. So one of these days, though, right? One of these days we'll do it. Actually, one of the things Abe and I have been talking about doing here in person in 343, and hopefully we'll make time for this. We've got a very busy schedule now with the classes and the other events that we do. Is Abe wants to do some kind of hardware-focused event where students can come in, bring, you know, we can set up hardware, we can jam, we can do like, you know, it could be educational, it could just be purely just hanging out and making music together. But yeah, something like a hardware-focused gear gathering, I believe he wants to call it. So I don't know. If we do that and it gets going well enough, maybe we'll try to take that online somehow, because we're able to do that here. We do events and we turn the cameras on and we can go live pretty much any time. So nice one. Josh Holiday says, I have a live jam hardware group called is it Bad Data or Bad Data? Whatever, Bad Data. That's cool. And yeah, I'd love to do some more hardware live jamming. It's just a matter of time. It's so easy to just, and also like, you know, I can sit down, open up my laptop and I'm ready, right? I don't have to plug anything in. I don't have to take up any space. What are y'all talking about here? Oh, Marco's saying thanks for doing it, for still doing it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I enjoy it. It gives me something to focus on. And even when I don't have very specific ideas about what to do for a stream, it's good to just get me to do it and to hang out with you guys. And like today, Sean Cunningham asked what's in the cards, and what's in the cards today, similar to last time, is I'm trying out some new plugins. Well, one particular new plugin that I thought looked cool. And then last week, I don't remember who reminded me that I haven't used SynPlant in a long time. So, and that's not a new plugin, right? But I haven't used it much. And there's one similarity between these two plugins that made me think, oh, let's play with both today. And so we're starting from scratch today. I've got like a kick drum loaded up and like two plugins, and the musical ideas, we'll just see how it goes. It's always fun to like, well, honestly, it's just a little bit frightening to like turn the stream on and come out and start talking and like start from zero with music. So bear with me on that. And nice one. Alessandro Braz was asking about any good new techno tracks I've heard lately. You know, I'm a little bit behind in my new release listening, but do you guys know who Shed is? Let me see if I can find this before there's this track that I heard. I mean, I totally this was like a social media, like it popped up on Instagram or something. But yeah, Shed has a release out in December that I just heard one track off of recently. And now I can't remember what it's called. That's why I'm searching on Google right now while I talk to you to see if I can find it. Actually, maybe I might have saved it in my Apple Music. Let's do that. I mean, I'm not going to play it for very long, but it was really, there's a really cool track that I listened to very recently, and I'm going to try to find it. I'm going to find it. Yeah, if you look up Shed in the app, it's just every other Shed except for. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you can hear this. Nah, it's not coming through. Let me see. I got to fix this. Give me a sec. I'm going to fix the audio while I talk to you and make it so you can hear it just for a second. But I think this track is pretty dope. And Shed he's been around a while. He's good. All right. Let me get this going again. You let me know if you can hear this. I'm only going to play it for a second so I don't get like too much of a copyright strike later. I'm not going to try to make this track something like this today, just not to confuse anybody. I just like this track. Anyway, you asked. I think this is really good. Deep and heavy at the same time, atmospheric, kind of swooshy whirly sounds. Anyway. All right. I think that's enough. We don't want YouTube to like content ID me today. So yeah, Elon Tape, that label, the label that this is on is a great label, you know, techno and house and deep bass, underground craziness and chill stuff. They're really good. That's a favorite label of mine for sure. So yeah, that's my answer. That's the one track I could think of today. I'm not going to try to copy this, but I like the deep vibe. I'm feeling, you know, kind of moody, spacey today a little bit. Maybe that's what will happen. All right. So yeah, I told you we're going to work with this plugin a little bit, Zyklop from Dawsum, I think, or Dawsum Traction, whatever that company is. They have got two names. And yeah, I think this looks really cool. It's a free plugin, which is nuts. This thing is super complex. And DJ Okenzie is asking for the name of that track real quick before we move along. It was here you go, TLSQ. That is the name of the track by Shed. All right, back to live, back to Zyklop here. So let's see. Let's move over to the main view here, and yeah, I'm just getting my head around this thing. It sounds really cool just going through the plugins. And what caught my attention about it, similar to plugins like Synthplant, where you can import audio or a sample in there, you can bring in a sample and do crazy things to it. Now, it's not like Synthplant where there's some AI smart algorithm that's reconstructing, resynthesizing the sound, which is amazing. This sounds like, and I'm saying this just from what I hear, and I haven't read any like technical product information about what it actually is doing. So bear with me, take it with a grain of salt. But what it sounds like it's doing is some kind of spectral sampling kind of thing, where you can import audio and it turns it into an oscillator. And it also kind of reminds me a little bit of Wavetable in that way. So, but I think, we need to go read the documentation, read what it says on their website for the accurate answer of how this thing works. But I'm just going to start dragging audio into it and see what I get and put a kick drum on it and call it techno. That's what we're going to do today. What is that? Okay, that's Synthplant. Let's not play Synthplant. Let's play Zyklop. Is that coming through all right? You hear that? It's a pretty loud, kind of sort of sine wavy thing with some little bit of noise in it. Okay. So like I said, I'm still kind of getting my head around this. You start out, well, you know what? Before I go into like trying to explain a plugin I don't really know how to use yet, let's listen to some presets. I mean, that's pretty. That's really nice. I think that's the startup preset. Nice kind of digital bass sound. A little bit of FM sort of thing going on with that. There is a lot of like crazy modulation and audio rate modulation and complex oscillation going on in this. All right, I'm just noticing this, that some of these presets are by Aerovane. You guys know that name? There's some really amazing classic kind of IDM-ish chill experimental tracks from Aerovane from years ago that I really like. So cool to see that name here in the presets. And, so far what I'm hearing just in these first few plugins are like, I'm hearing the kind of details I like. See what the mod wheel does. Cool. Yeah, that's just changing the amount of modulation going on in there. There's some kind of inharmonic, noisy stuff happening. And I'm seeing that little needle kind of, whatever that indicator, that orange line floating around. So it looks like it's sweeping through whatever this sample / oscillator thing is. This is cool. All right. Good presets. Maybe, you know. Sounds a little insect-like here. I mean, already, like, it, you know, the first few, other than that bass sound, like the first few sounds we're hearing are all like crazy, spacey, atmospheric sounds. Let's see if we can organize these a little bit differently. Yeah, it's not really organizing by type. It's organizing by person who made it. What does an infrares sound like? All right, there's a simple sound. Oh, nope, the mod wheel is bringing in the craziness. I like it. Okay. But that's not why I'm trying this out. I mean, I like the presets. I like how it sounds. Maybe we'll come back to some presets. But what I wanted to try out is how it analyzes and processes audio. That's what I thought was really cool initially about this. So let's go back to the init patch. Real simple, no modulation except there's an LFO moving through whatever this is, this oscillator / sample. Let's find something to run in there. What to do? Too many sounds to choose from. All right, I just realized you guys might be hearing doubling here, so let me get rid of the doubling. If I can find it. I think it is here. There we go. All right. Let me make this there. Do you guys hear that okay? Do you hear this this bass acid kind of sound? Is that coming through? All right, that's a weird sample. Let's see what happens if I drop it in here. All right, so we've got resynthesized version 1 and resynthesized version 2. I honestly don't know the difference between these. Let's just try them. Uh-oh, we've hit our first limitation. I notice this all the time with audio, a lot of sample-based plugins that don't like AIF files. You guys ever notice that? Like Pigments doesn't like AIF files. Contact doesn't like AIF files. Can't these programmers, can't these developers make Mac plugins that work with AIF files? Could you please? So I don't... All right. All right, now I need to find a wave so that it'll play nice. All right, gosh, what is this thing going to do with something complex like a chord? I kind of like this one. It's moody and dubby, and I'm into that. All right, so let's hear how it takes this chord, see what it does to it. All right, it turned it into this pretty shape. And we're not hearing the, it's like we're kind of hearing part of the tone of it. We're not hearing the harmony in the chord, though. So it's not like just replaying the sample. There is maybe some kind of resynthesis going on here. All right. Drossir, I hope I'm saying that right. Drossir says version 2 is an improved algorithm. All right, so let's try this again, see what it sounds like with V2. Okay, I mean, it's not, I don't know, I think it's just different. I mean, improved how? I guess we have to really get to know this plugin a little bit better. All right, so what is making this move through? It's this LFO over here. So I'm clicking on wave, I'm clicking on an LFO, and that's the amount. And now we're not modulating through that. That could be interesting. Let's turn that up a little bit. That's crazy. All right, let's try. I'm going to try some other samples and see what we get out of this thing. Let's try something brighter. Yeah, so when you move it, it is like wavetable. It's just like wavetable, right? We're moving through loops from a sample, right? And when I move it, you can hear the original tone of the sample. That's kind of cool. All right, so we need to move this. And I guess that's why it like defaults to having the LFO. All right, how's this LFO thing work? Cool. All right, so right away, this sounds like a cool sampler. This is a really cool, like, wavetable / sampler. And it's just repeating that. And if I slow that down, we're synced with the DAW right now. All right, let's just put a beat on and make some music now. I kind of like that note for some reason. It's a D. Is there record crackle in that? But basically, I'm time stretching it. I don't know if this was like the intention of this plugin, right? I think the intention is more like taking audio, making an oscillator out of it, and then doing something like a new sound with it. Right now, we're just we're doing like a warped clip in live, sort of. But then we've got, all right, we've got these FM. Pretty sure that's what that is, frequency modulation. We've got the ratio for the FM. Right. I'm hearing a lot of crazy inharmonic stuff because we're applying FM to multiple notes in that sample. All right, so there's the FM going on. What is this? Inharmonic. Detuning some of those frequencies in that waveform. Kind of cool. And then we have animates the signal. So this must do some kind of internal modulation. I don't know. I'll leave that where it was. And then we've got suppressed timbral or temporal layers. No idea. Ooh. I see what they're doing. All right. So there's like different ranges of frequencies, I guess, we're bringing in and out. This is going to be good for some trippy kind of dubby atmospheric stuff for sure. I like how we're getting this kind of pulsating effect depending on where we are in those in the timbral layers. All right, I'm going to play with that. We can modulate that. And then we've got smoothing the temporal layers. All right, we'll turn this into something eventually, I think. Let me go up. I kind of gonna make kind of a dreamy, hypnotic thing out of this. That's what it's doing. All right, let's do this. Let's give this some shape rather than just having it droning all the time. It's a start. Change the curve of this. wonder if that could be modulated. What do these guys do? We've got more saw-like. All right, so there's some other kind of modulation on this waveform. It's creating noise, right? This is a pretty noisy sample, so we're just getting brighter and noisier with this. Also, I haven't been careful about tuning. Like, I'm imagining that like any audio rate modulation is probably like harmonically related to the note you're playing, but the note we're playing, the audio, the sample is not in tune. So it's getting noisy when I'm doing this stuff. Cool. I don't mind it with the FM. It's getting a little bit dirty, but in a good way. All right, let's play with the shape of the envelope. I want to slow this down a little bit. Okay, so there's some other things to play with in this oscillator. It's got all these, there's some presets for different kinds of character. It's modular, semi-modular at least. Like you can add different processing to these oscillators and do some crazy things with them. These are some presets for that. You can just add them one at a time. Like let's add this suite. It's kind of, I think it's like unison. What else can we do to this? I feel like I want to, if I'm making it dubby, I want to be able to control the filter. I can add a filter here. But look, yeah, you can add any of these things. Like you can put the effect in the filter section. You can put it in the oscillator section. Let's just do a standard kind of low pass thing. I wanted to see what some of these other things are doing before we cut all the highs out. I like the crackle's interesting, right? I'm gonna go back and make this longer again. Something about it stretching out longer. Yeah, just making it dirty. That works better. It's less pinched. All right, too much, whatever that is. Ooh, interesting. So this is removing harmonics. I like that. Let's get some velocity control on that. Right. And maybe on the filter as well. Another thing we could try to do is velocity on the, can we do that? Can we do rate of LFO? Is that in there somewhere? Anybody who's used this before? I'm still kind of getting my head around some of this. Like there's no frequency for the LFO unless there's something I'm missing. It's all just synced. Is there a way to change it to rate? No, we've got BPM, we got synced or not synced. And we've got fractions, but there's no just hertz. Like I'd love a continuous modulation, but maybe that's just not how this thing works. Is there a way to, all right, we've got some other things we can do, like note random. Oh, that's cool. Actually. I'm learning in front of you. I would like to be able to do note random. Ooh. That's good. Every time I play a note, we're like at a different position in the LFO. And it's, or it's doing, is it doing the frequency? Oh yeah, it is. So it's getting more stretched, less stretched, something like that. All right. I'm going to try something a little bit different. Bear with me. I know this is a little slow going today. We're not getting right into like a bang and groove or anything. We're experimenting. Might be a little too random. It's interesting. It might be better to do this with velocity so that it's not too super random, you know? To have, like, can I do that? Can I control? How do I get rid of this? Remove module, plus visualizer, note random, jitter, soft curve, amount, position. But like, ooh, that's also cool. I'm discovering fun things to do. I'd be down with that. Can I LFO that? Oh, there's a sine wave. Retrigger is off. Ooh, I'm down with that. All right, hi-hat time. I know this is weird, just go with it. Real simple. Do something stupid on the kick drum. Has anybody noticed who uses Ableton Live 12 that when you hot swap things, they don't go directly to the presets for the device anymore? Sometimes they just go wherever. Ableton, explain yourselves. Why is that happening? What am I missing? Or what did you change? Oh, too distorted. I just want to put some kind of character weirdness on this sound. I don't want to overdo it. Yeah. Also, I don't mean to be doing multiple roars in a row. All right, we need to tighten up this thing. It's too, it's sloppy, right? I want this to be cool and dubby and weird and techie but sharper, right? It's a little too soft sounding. How do we do that? Is it just the envelope? Getting there. Still a little too random. What happens if we change the overall rate? Not bad. What happens if we go faster? Too much. All right. It's getting somewhere. It's a start. Now we tweak. Interesting. Playing with FM now. This was the one that I liked. We were making it more sine wave like. We have effects to play with. All right, which delays should we use? Grains, delay, loophole. Okay, not that. Let's remove that. Let's just do regular delay. Sync. Dotted eighth. And I like the idea of how did I have this tune before? It sounded better before. There we go. Which one do we like? Do we like the cleaner, sort of brighter sounding one? Or do we like the kind of more dirty? Now I can't find it. Somewhere in there. What's the filter doing? There's a few different filter models. We got ladder, more resonance. Dirty, I guess it's going to be just some distortion in there. There's a 303-like filter. It's kind of hard to hear the difference in this particular sound. There's not a lot of highs to be precise with. How are we doing? Let's stop for a second. I've been not paying attention to the chat at all. Let's just take a little break. Now that we're about a little more than halfway through of me just zoning out on this new plugin and figuring things out. Yes, it's Selway Techno Saturdays here on 343 TV, brought to you by 343 Labs Music Production School here in New York City and in Berlin and online and throughout the universe, because I'm assuming that all this data that we generate is just floating out there into space somehow. All right. What are we talking about? Yeah, Aaron Hedges says ladder Moog clone probably. The ladder does sound nice. I might go back to that. And Aaron Hedges is also suggesting keep it brighter so you can filter over time. Yes. Someone asked about morphing. Can we morph? Like, can you go from one oscillator to another? I don't think so. This has just got one complex oscillator in it. So, I mean, I suppose if you have a sample and there's enough changes in the sample over time to create that variation. I mean, I noticed that in some of the presets when you kind of move around the oscillator, you'll get variations in tone. So I'm thinking that like if your sample has morphing like changes to it, then it might be a little bit like morphing. And then, oh yeah, Josh is saying from clean to dirty. Oh, you're talking about automating that one parameter I was playing with. Let me just get rid of the... Can we automate that? Yes. Absolutely. But I have to be real precise because it's inharmonic. It's making it noisy. And then sometimes you'll hit a little sweet spot where you hear a nice frequency stick out, which is what I liked. Yeah, the ladder has that more pinched kind of sharpness to it. That's good. It makes it stick out a little bit more. All right. Cool. I like what this is doing. I wanted to do something kind of deep and chill and a little dubby. And this is what we got. Except I got heavy beats. I'm not sure about this. Like maybe a little too much distortion. I like techno tracks that are like dubby and heavy at the same time. It's got atmospheric, it could be pretty, it could be shiny, but then it's got this banger of a beat underneath it. And I feel like right now the beat's kind of more of a placeholder while we figure out what's going on with the synth. So, you know, it might change. That's interesting. So if I manually move the position around in the waveform, you get more or less of certain things. Like over this way, it's nudging it darker, lighter. And if I bring it down, it's getting more of the louder part. That's another thing we can play around with when we dub it out. And then of course there was this balance. Still not exactly sure what this one's doing. It's very subtle. At least in this sample, we're not hearing much difference. Those hi-hats are like, they're chunky. Maybe thin them out a little bit. A little bit of an unnecessarily high feedback filter delay on those hi-hats. Just playing around. More echo, more dub. Absolutely, just gonna, if I finish this track, and I should, I'm just gonna play with the synth, just like you're supposed to do. Let's add another one. That one I feel like it's not 100% baked, but it's getting there. I might just, you know what, let's just go through some presets and quickly add something musical. Or I could try and make a bass rather than rely on a preset. We could try randomizing. Let's do this. Randomize parameters. Hold longer for more change. All right. Not working. I feel like your mileage may vary on randomizing. I could see this working for you. But not sure what's going on here. Oops, sorry, a little loud there. I you know, as far as just browsing through presets, it would be nice. Okay, there it is. I was looking for it. Like, where's the thing where you can organize them? We want bass. We want dark. Let's try these. Little too growly or weird or sharp. That could be okay just for something simple. There's some cool techie stuff in here. I kind of liked this Reese sort of one earlier, but it's going to be too bright. That's not exactly the vibe. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So far not hearing what I want. Try these. I mean, that's more in the zone. A little buzzy. Can I even like figure out how to modify this thing? What do we got going on here? We've got some asymmetrical kind of distortion or shaping. We've got a comb. I mean, we've got two kinds of filtering going on. Yeah, this one I think I'm just going to break it. I'm going to break it if I mess it up. And not, I don't know. Maybe I want some kind of a string sound. What do you think? How did I get to that? I don't remember now how I got to that view. There it is. Click on browse. Let's try something more like something more like a pad. I know there's a lot of pads. Look at that. Weird. Pretty. Kind of like that one, but it's in a similar frequency range as the dubby chords. I mean, I could make a sound like that, probably faster with something like Pigments, but moody, spacey. I still need low end. That's what I'm missing. So not quickly finding a sound that works for me with the presets. I could spend some more time kind of synthesizing, sound designing, and figuring out how to make a bass sound. Let's throw another one of these in here. That this is iClop sound is really good. It's like this is a great plugin preset. Right. I know. Let's do this. Let's explore what some of these oscillator things do. We've got metalize. Some crazy. That's not going to make a good bass sound though. At least not right away. Ooh. That's cool. Interesting. So we've got this sweet kind of stereoizing thing. We've got this orbit audio rate modulation thing, which I have no idea what it's doing. And then there's a compression. There's an over-the-top multi-band compression here. I mean, that just sounds good right out of the gate. Just simple and fat. I like that. But we just need to maybe control it a little bit. That's maybe not good to have that much stereo panning on something so subby, but all right. Real simple, sort of bouncy. One note. A little slow. It kind of needs to be ahead of the beat a little bit. That's because I got a long attack time on that. It's on that. The default envelope has a long attack time. And I like that. I like how simple it is, and I like the stereo imaging on it, but it isn't steady, right? It's not going to, like, you know, lock the groove in. It's going to be floating. Although I don't know. I still like it. Let's do this. Let's put in a mono the low end. There's potential here. I mean, this is just starting with not a preset, but with one of these oscillator modes, or it's like a combination of modulation and effects and things. And just right out of the box, it just jumped out at me as being like solid, you know, potential. It has potential. You can kind of mix the sine wave with the effects. That might help kind of keep it steady too. Let's see what some of these controls do on this sound, since this should be more in tune. A little buzzier. A lot buzzier. Distortion. Okay, no, not on this sound. Too much noise. Detuning. It's already got a lot of kind of phasey stereo-ness going on. All right, FM's not working for me on this one. And there's not going to be much change moving through that sample like that. More like changing the phase position. Yeah, maybe a little too much on this stuff. I don't know. I still like it. Unnecessary. That's just going to make it muddy. I don't think we need any more stereo on it. It's already got a lot of stereo movement. see how the reverb sounds on this thing. Sounds good. Lets a lot of low end through too. Okay, potential. Okay, it's a little weird. I'll give you that. It has some there's some details that I'm going to need to work out with this, but you know, why not? I like this plugin so far. I mean, this is literally the first time I've opened it. I did not play with it or do anything with it before the show started. So this is me like stumbling through learning a new plugin in front of you guys. Anyway, what do you think? What do you think about Zyklop? I'd say definitely worth it. Being a free plugin, there's a lot of potential here. It sounds cool. What are y'all talking about? Cool. Marco says very nice for around about 45 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to use this again. I need to spend some more time with it and really get to know more of the details and the ins and outs of it, and like how to get them, like bringing in the samples and how to get the most out of that. You know, and then like, you know, you've got some. Like, does it get, you know, if I use up more CPU power, I've been doing this on Eco the whole time. Is like a Smart or a High or an Ultra going to improve the resolution, get more detail? Like, is it going to be worth it? Like, that's something I need to play around with as well. Nice. Well, I'd say it's been just about an hour, right? I mean, I think we started a little bit after 1:30, but I feel like I am, I think I'm done for today. I think I did what I wanted to do. And, you know, okay, except that's not true. I forgot to go back and look at Simplant. We'll do this another time. I was going to compare to say, like, you know, these are two relatively recent plugins or new plugins that, take, you know, you're able to make, you're synthesizing sounds from samples, but they're doing it in a different way. We'll revisit this another time, but just, you know, I was just thinking about it. So we'll come back to that one. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today and kind of just barely getting started on this track with checking out this Zyklop from Dawson. And I'll see you next time. Have a good week. Adios.
let you shut it down. You can't stop the Zoid. 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 When the Zoid gets down, the one starts to flow. Millennium sound. It takes you to the zone. In the zone you're free to move through the stars. In the zone you see the Zoid never dies. You can't stop